many of the schools that we're in, working in the Bronx, are overcrowded. As a matter of fact, in order for us to meet with the students that we counsel, the principal couldn't find a place for us because we need some privacy, so they opened up a bathroom that what used to be a bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Well, they covered the toilets and all that, but
oh,
still,
that
it's a
really
bathroom.
made it feel like an office. Sure,
It's
yeah.
still
Have a seat here. You know.
And I mean, it was like they couldn't find a space for us to meet with our kids. And so if we didn't have privacy, we couldn't have that program in that school, and that's how they... So all the schools that we're in, overcrowding is an issue. It's a big issue. And I'll tell you another example of how the educational system does not do its job in making sure it has everything it needs for its students, at least for our students. We were in a school where the kids were kept for a month, from September to October, in the auditorium because they didn't have their programs ready. So these are high school students that are going to school ready to learn, and they're sitting in an auditorium all day because they didn't have their program.
And so finally, what happened with them?
Finally, by the time I got wind of it, I said, what? This city? I was like, I gotta go up there. I was like, wait, this is outrageous. We went to Brazil. You gotta move this much quicker. Why didn't they do it in the summer? I mean, I don't think if this was in Garden City, Long Island, I don't think those parents would have stood for that. Or I don't think they would have even dared to keep the kids for a whole month.
So finally, did they wind up in a class?
They finally gave them their programs, and the kids went to the classrooms. But how can you even think that this is okay?
That's interesting. And of course, at some level, it impacts the educational situation.
Of course.
It's hard not to.
Starting the year with you've already wasted a whole month. And never mind the attitude of you're just sitting around, wasting time. I mean, that does something to a person's soul, I think.
What do you see as far as the young people today in the Latino community and the prospective new leadership that might emerge from them?
Well, unless you sit and talk to them, you don't know how interested they are. I had the opportunity to sit with 25 young men in our Fatherhood Initiative program. And I thought that I was just going to sit and give them information about our organization and our program. And they had 20,000 questions for me as a leader. And how did I become a leader and what motivated me? I mean, they were asking the right questions that brought me back to when I first met you. That brought me back to, why did I choose this path? And they were asking the questions about. And to me, that's important. What motivates you will lead you, most times, to stay on the path of being a person that has integrity and that does things for the right reasons. If you stay connected to that, what motivates you in the first place of wanting to help people or wanting social justice, or it helps you to stay on the path. And
would they display any of the kind of cynicism that maybe some of the older folks do now about the political scene?
No, they did not. They did not at all. That certainly surprised me. How interested they were, and how they didn't. Their questions didn't show any cynicism at all.
Did any of them show any interest in possibly pursuing a public service career, either as an elected official or working in government? Was that anything that was on their radar?
Yes, and running organizations. Okay. They wanted to know, how did I get there? And yes, it showed that they want to take some leadership and do right by the community and for their families, and it was a very interesting exchange. They want to come back and talk to me again.
All right, well, there you go, an encore, huh? What do you think could be done to foster more of that sense for young people to see themselves and ask those questions and start visualizing, as the psychologists say, if you visualize something, then maybe you got a shot at getting it, to start visualizing themselves in those kinds of tracks?
I think they need more of us talking to them. And having that kind of exchange, because they want to know. I mean, they see people that have positions of leadership. They want to know, how did they get there? And they need to know that a lot of it is hard work. That you don't get there by jumping over. That it's hard work and preparing yourself and educating yourself. They need more people from our community who are doing positive things to have an exchange with them. They really do.